There's a sprawling encampment, been back here for about 3 years now, off and on. The city ignored it for about 2 years, almost entirely. Over the last year, they started doing more enforcements. The people still live here because they gotta live somewhere. So we're gonna go through and see if anyone just wants to talk about the situation, kind of how they're just feeling about things. A lot of times during the day there's not a lot of people at home. Gotta go out and get supplies and whatever. See that some structures are getting a bit more ready for winter, like the one straight ahead. It's looking large, certainly larger than during the summer. See, it backs onto a rather nice apartment building. The way they got their area fenced, I don't think they're gonna really want to talk much. And I don't think they're home anyways. Campfire's not going at the moment. So we're going to head to the other end where there's usually more people who usually are a bit more willing to talk. I mean, this started off as a very nice nature spot in the middle of the city. You can see why people started camping here 3 years ago. Actually, they originally started back 3 years ago, right about where this tent is. It was a very small encampment, 1 or 2 people. Actually, that one wasn't even 3 years ago. That was about 8 years ago, the first time that anyone had camped back here. But now it's been 3 years of pretty much constant occupation. This area is small now, but it was a giant encampment. It's actually a lot nicer now. Nice little fire pit, chairs set up. Not going to be good for winter, but nice for fall. Off over in that direction behind the bushes, that's where we'll be heading and finding probably more people. But like I said, it depends on what they're up to, gathering supplies or whatever. I think there might not be anyone home at all today. So we might not get anyone's opinion on the situation. Kind of nice there. They actually got a little cooking surface with that paving stone. Changed up considerably since last time I was through here. Heavy bag. So many shoes and boots. Telescope. Smoker barbecue has seen better days. And of course, lots of bicycles. There's always lots of bicycles. There's a mighty structure over here, but it is entirely burnt. One of the hazards of living out here and trying to stay warm is fires. There's been a number of large ones. wooden structure with a wood stove, I think. Oh, there's some people over here. Let's see if they want to talk for a moment. I'll put the phone down for a second.
Do I have to show my face? Or?
I don't have to. No, I don't have to. That's all up to you.
What do you want to know?
Okay, so just basically, like, you know, winter's approaching. It's a struggle. It's been going for about 3 years now. There's been like an ongoing camp back here.
Oh, longer than that.
Well, I remember people back like 8 years ago, but for the last 3 years, it's been pretty constant.
Yeah, we had it like right around right here, right? Like, right between. You talk about it's like right between that blue thing.
Okay,
that
right.
Opening right there.
Yeah.
Or maybe a bit further back. Around this general area in here. I was part of that thing like 8 years ago.
Okay.
There's like 3 shacks or 4 shacks set up, right? Made out of fucking what do you call those? Pallets.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that was me and my buddy Kevin.
Okay. So like, how's the city? I guess a question people would have is like, how's the city been about? Like, have they been? Like, it seems like recently they've been more kind of harassing, but how was it in the past?
Well, in the past, it was a lot more lenient in the past. Like, it's about the same kind of treatment with like outreach and stuff.
Right.
They'd rather give us socks and sleeping bags and food instead of actually help us like get on their shit to help us find a place.
Which I think is like an 8-year wait list right now.
Well, priority 2 status is supposed to be a year waiting list.
Okay.
But because of the amount of people who are on the waiting list for that stuff, it can be longer is what they said. It can be.
So it should be a year, but
it's longer.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years. They say between 1 and 2 years.
And do they come out like to check on you guys to make sure that you're on the list, or like how does that work?
I haven't heard them ask that question in a while, actually. Like a long while. But like last year they're on it like a lot more. They're like adamant on pushing it, including when you go to H4 and stuff like that.
Right.
They're pushing people to get on the list, but a lot of us people are homeless out here. They rather just buy their dope and stuff instead of actually like look actively for a place. So it gives like one bad apple could ruin it for the bunch, right?
Right.
You got like one stupid junkie who does all this stupid stuff. It gives all those other addicts a bad name too, who actually are wanting to get home, who actually want to get off the street, who are trying to do the legwork to get off the street and go to our meetings and stuff.
Right.
People are trying to hold you back because misery loves company, right?
Yeah. So the people that are the people that are doing it at the worst, they try to drag you down.
Yes. Yeah. It makes it harder for us to get our stuff done because you know, like, we're addicts too, right? We're all stuck in the same boat in that area, but like.
Right.
There's also the odd homeless person who doesn't even do drugs.
Because of housing prices and shit.
Yeah, and they you know they get their stuff within a month. They get an apartment because they don't do drugs.
Okay.
It's like landlords, they'd rather someone clean, right? They don't want to help us out. Remember back when Tent City used to be down there? And I was part of that too. They brought us all over to Detroit Street in that frat house that they converted into a rooming place.
Right.
I was there too. They didn't want addicts and stuff in there. They didn't. These people didn't care. The manager and stuff. They took us in there.
Right.
Said that we'd be treated like a family. We're no different than anybody else. We're family now, right?
Right.
And we got the same kind of rights and treatment as everybody else who was already in there who wasn't homeless. They lied to us and used us as a marketing scheme to flip and sell the place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they told the people who were bringing our donations and stuff that they couldn't do that. They weren't allowed to come on property. They're making it really hard for them to help us. And they literally took our donations, they put them in a locked room and locked them away from us and didn't give them out to us when we had all rights to that stuff.
Well, yeah, because it's your donation.
They were selling our stuff for a profit and keeping the money for themselves.
Yeah, I remember there's something.
That's why the people came. That's why some of the people came together out of us in our bunch, and took out the copper, took out the lighting. We couldn't shit, we couldn't piss, we couldn't shower, we couldn't do anything.
Right.
Not even cook because they took all the electrical wire, they took all the plumbing out, they just scrapped it for money.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's because of the way they were treating us. You know, we didn't want them to be able to sell the building, so they destroyed it. I never had part of it. I left before this point because
things were starting to, you could see the writing on the wall that it was time to get out.
Yeah, that
before.
and people fucking breaking into my room, busting open my door handle and stuff, looting through my room and taking stuff.
Oh, fuck
My
that.
ex-girlfriend was planting stuff in my room and getting me in trouble and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It was a huge crap show, you know, like it was terrible.
Have you heard that about like Glengarry too? Because I'd heard that.
Oh, I lived there too.
And then was it bad or?
Glengarry's guards dark secrets.
Yeah, that's what I basically had heard.
Yeah, the 7th floor caught fire, the entire floor. A lot of people lost their places because of that, and the people who ran Glengarry didn't follow up to code what to do with that through procedure. Like they're supposed to give people a motel room or something like that,
Right.
you know, until they find a new place.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that. Some of them were turned onto the streets.
Ugh.
Very few of them were given a place in a 2-story room or replaced in the different buildings in a different apartment.
Right.
But a good chunk of them ended up on the streets. You know, they didn't give a fuck.
Fuck.
And after that was burnt down, they found bodies of a dead fetus in the walls. There was dead bodies in the walls, and some
shit.
secrets started coming out and stuff. It was all over the news and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing some things. Like they didn't
Yeah.
say it all, obviously, but they mentioned some things.
Now they have a police station inside Glengarry 333.
Right.
Glengarry has its own police force because of how terrible it is. Like even before all this stuff happened, I remember a police officer telling me that they have keys to get into that building because Glengarry is the #1 hotspot for arresting people for domestics.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like, there's a lot of things floating around there too. You know, I don't want to get into too
Well,
much.
no, understood.
I
But
don't want to die.
so I guess that'd be the question. It's like a place like Glengarry or like the missions. Like sometimes I talk to people and I hear them say they feel safer camping out rather than being like at the downtown mission or a place like
Oh, yeah.
Glengarry.
Downtown Mission, I had my shoes stolen off of my feet, and I crotched my cell phone, and someone went in my crotch and stole my cell phone.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't have money in there. You can't have anything with value or anything like that. 'Cause people will run your pockets in your sleep. Like, I don't sleep for that reason. You know, I try and stay up as long as I can, but when I crash, and
right,
it's hard to wake me up because I usually stay up for like 2-3 weeks at a time.
right. But then when you crash, you're really asleep, and then of course at a place
Everything's
like there,
gone.
everything gone.
Everything gone.
Fuck.
Yeah, I woke up in a fire once when I passed out like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Someone
you
lit
made
my
it out
stuff
of
on
there.
fire.
Oh, so someone lit your shit on fire. Actually,
Yeah. So I don't even know where the people were. They're like, there's a set of people that walk around this city and just like pick on the homeless. You know, like when I was over at Gateway Park next to the dollar store.
Oh, right,
There's
yeah.
an old couple. Okay, they came walking by and they threatened about burning down my campsite there. And my one friend got so upset, he literally went down there yelling at these guys and pulled a hatchet on them, and they called the police.
right.
But like, we've been stuck in situations like that before, where people have lit our stuff on fire with us in it. It's not a joke.
So
If they
it's-
were joking, they shouldn't joke about shit like that.
So I mean, like the news reports on things like when like a campfire goes wrong and something catches up, but I always kind of had my suspicions about that sort of thing. So do you think there's basically like vigilantes going around setting shit on fire?
Yes,
Fuck.
of course. There always is.
Fuck.
But like you say, vigilantes can be a bad guy as much as they can be a hero. They're stuck on
Right.
the border, you know. It
Well-
depends on the eyes of who you're talking to about that about the question.
Well, also they don't usually have the whole story. Like that's the problem. Like someone goes, "Oh, I'm gonna clean up crime." They don't know the roots of crime. They don't really know how to stop crime. So they go for the most obvious thing and fuck shit up.
You know how to stop crime? Get rid of the police. There's only reason there's crime is because there's police, and the police just state what crime is. Like, what they say is what goes. There's the biggest gang in the entire world. Look at the opening statements of the police of what it means to be a police officer. It's the same definitions of a gang.
An argument could be made for. I guess the question would be, because I remember during the Black Lives Matter thing in Portland, they had their no police zone, and eventually they kind of had to start their own security force of their own. So like,
Yeah.
I guess what would you say, like, if you got rid of the police, what would you replace them with to make sure that, because you might not want to have like the current police system, but what would you put in its place, like a public safety sort of thing, so that, like, I guess what would that look like in your eyes?
Well, instead of police, I'd like If I was to be a governor of some kind of area,
Right.
I would like give like just like a small list of like basic like human like courtesy things, you know, like,
Okay.
and whoever's not following those courtesy things, like the people in a total like census should be able to come to like an agreement on what would happen to certain people, you know, like it'd be by the people for the people, you know.
So like a community-based.
Everybody everybody have all the authority and rights to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be up to like certain individuals to decide over an entire general population of people of what is good or bad. The people should decide that.
Decide for themselves on the
Yes.
local level.
Yes.
Okay, I could see that.
Like they talk about a free world and freedom of speech, but it seems like everything like with today, like Canada's probably going to be a communist country for the next 10 years.
Close to it, possibly. It's. I mean, it's so hard to tell right now. It's like it seems like it could go like 3 different directions. It's like it's all up in the air right
I
now.
only see you going one direction. It's all bad.
In the short run, possibly, yeah.
Look at it. They're taking away guns and stuff on the street, even for hunting. You're not even able to own a firearm that has more than 5 or 7 shots in a clip.
Yeah.
Right? And like you're taking away guns and stuff like that. The government's doing that for a reason.
Okay.
Because people are going up and rising up against the government. The government doesn't want us to be able to defend ourselves. They want to have control of the people.
Okay.
If you take away the guns, it's going to be a communist country. The government's going to have all of it. The police are going to have all of it. What are we going to have? Throw rocks at them? We're going to be like the Middle East or something like that, where like nobody has rights to guns and stuff like that. They're throwing rocks at the fucking authorities.
And then when you throw rocks at the authorities and they got guns, it don't
they come
work
back
out.
with their shields and their smoke gas, their tear gas
Yeah.
and shit. And they come out with like their Indian rubber bullet fucking weapons.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that with rocks.
Yeah. And you get a big group of people throwing rocks, then they come in with full force and tactical weapons.
True, yeah. So it's
It's like shooting fish in a barrel. That ain't fair.
true. It also gets in the way of like there was a government report that in another 20 years we might all be having to hunt and fish for our food. And
I wouldn't mind that.
but the thing is, of course, if they take away the guns, it makes it hard for hunting.
Yeah, we'll be stuck with what, bows and arrows.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, bows and arrows. I guess fishing rods, bows and arrows.
Yeah, crossbows.
Yeah, it'd still work for hunting. But yeah, it's.
I get one of
Yeah.
those big square things that hold like 50 arrows or something like that, and shoot 50 arrows out of it, like one of those sentry things. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
Kill lots of animals and get a lot of food for the whole population.
So here's a different future question, because AI is obviously a big topic around.
Oh God.
And some reports say that by 2027, they will have achieved artificial general intelligence. So that's like where basically it can think like a human, and then a few years after that, it's smarter than humans. So, I
We
mean,
already have that.
oh, we have it in limited areas. So like you could have where like a system is smarter at medicine than doctors, but it wouldn't be able to do all the things you do. They don't have a general artificial intelligence that can do all the things that a single human can do. We have a bunch
Like
of
a
different.
cyborg.
Well, cyborg would be like.
Robot.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, some people think that you have to stick a artificial intelligence in a body for it to develop. Other people aren't sure, but
No, you don't have to stick it into a body. You gotta give it some kind of like some juice, like a computer. You know, a computer has artificial intelligence, and as long as it's turned on, its system, the artificial intelligence learns from itself. Like there's artificial intelligence on the internet, right? And
Right.
that stuff is like gone so far. It's come up with its own language. It came up with its
Yeah.
own ways of things and stuff like that. In Japan, the Japanese built an artificial intelligence machine, and they were asking how they could make the Earth better and like stop it from dying.
Right.
And then the computer found out that we're the problem on Earth, and it's going to put something in the water and said, God has made this planet in 7 days, so I would rid the planet of humans in 7 days. And it's going to put a poison or something like that in the water and kill all of us. So they had to unpull the fucking plug.
yeah, you don't want that thing plugged in. So I guess that'd be the thing, 'cause it seems like. Do you think that when artificial intelligence gets to that level where it's smarter than us, that it's going to choose to get rid of us or make things better?
I think in the end, it's going to get rid of us.
Yeah.
Humans are like cancer cells. We naturally kill and destroy and like just vandalize everything we get put our hands on. Like when a fly lands on you, what do? You swat it.
Swat it, right.
You don't swish it.
Yeah, so yeah, I see what you're saying. It's
You give the robots out something like that to think about. You know, the robot automatically thinks they're perfect. They don't see their own flaws, but they could be a lot more damaging and harmful than a person can, because not only do they have their own ways of think, they have a lot more strength than us because they're metal.
and can also coordinate, because you could have a single computer coordinating a whole bunch of
The
robots.
computer's no smarter than the person that has programmed the computer, right? So like you have a computer that can think for itself. It can go beyond the fact that of like whatever the thing's been programmed to do,
Right.
because it's been programmed to think. It's been programmed to do all this extra stuff, and it'll learn stuff and be able to memorize certain stuff, everything actually, a lot more than a person can.
Oh, yeah.
Better than photographic memory.
Well, yeah, that's like why ChatGPT, even though it doesn't have artificial intelligence, it's read everything that's on the internet, so it has a big knowledge base.
And it'll remember.
Yes, yeah, it does. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it's both RAM and ROM.
so not big hopes for artificial intelligence then.
No, I don't want it at all. It's the most terrible idea ever. They're even going into doing things like they actually started testing like by putting chips into people for the identification, their money system and stuff like that. They say like they're building all these 15-minute cities and stuff.
Right.
Everything's supposed to be 15 minutes away from their home.
Right.
And they literally cut your car off within like a half hour of driving each day. And if you don't make it back to your house, it'll be parked on the side of the road till the next day. You'll get a ticket for invalid parking or something like that. And that's going to go have a bunch of problems. And then on top of that, if you don't have these chips in your system, you won't be able to buy food or eat or anything like that because you have no currency to be able to pay for it. And even in China, you know, like some people, they break the law or something that day, or
even
have
social
some kind of
things.
infraction.
Yeah, the
Their
social
chip-
credit score.
Yeah, the chip actually activates and makes it so they can't eat that day. They can't purchase anything that day to eat.
No, we don't want that.
So
That's
it's already going on in China.
yeah, it's a lot of shit going on in China, that's for sure.
Yeah, Donald Trump bought a big chunk of China too.
Yeah.
Somehow finds a way to take countries and make it into a margin profit for purchase for a profitable gain for financials, and he actually bought a good chunk of China. He wants to buy Canada and make it the 53rd state.
Yeah, he keeps talking about that 51st state thing, but
It's actually 52 states right
oh,
now.
okay.
It would be the 53rd.
Yeah, it's hard to say what'll go with that, but
Yeah.
hopefully we don't.
We already said we're not for sale.
Yeah.
That's why we have tariffs on us right now.
Yeah, they sure do. Which makes everything more expensive, so when you go to buy
We
food,
just
it's
stop
like,
buying their stuff.
oh, true. The problem that what bugs me is that their tariffs affect our prices here, and it's like, why? You know, you go to the grocery store, everything
They set
costs
tariffs
more.
back. They just uprise and fucking just they wipe us with a button.
Yeah,
Our military now is a joke. We have most of the United States military stuff that we hold on to them for storage here. We have no rights to use it or anything like that unless they say so. If we use it without their permission, we're in trouble for that too. Canada's
Yeah.
basically being piggybacked by the United States, but they being their bitch.
yeah, we gotta stop doing that. That's for sure.
And on top of that, we're still a colony of England. We have not actually recessed into our own country because we weren't able to defeat them like the United States have. We had to sign a treaty where they say that we have the rights to call ourselves our own country, but we still have to pay homage to the Queen.
Right.
We're just another colony. We're not a real country.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. That's for sure. Well, it was nice talking to you.